Okay, so now that we have threaded our shades onto some monofilament, we need to hang it so that we can then like shape it. So in order to do this, thinking about you all working in back stock rooms, we've taken a rolling rack and we've just stacked it on top of some crates to give us some height so that we can hang it and work that way. If you have somewhere that you can hang it from your ceiling in the stock room or some other location, maybe it's in the window, that you can hang it and make it, that totally works. This is just a quick option using things that we think that you guys might have in the stock rooms. So I have just tied the end of my monofilament to a binder clip, and I'm just gonna kind of fasten that up here at the top of my rolling rack and clamp that in place. Come down really quick. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our shade and start kind of taking binder clips and just kind of start clipping it in place underneath, like anywhere the monofilament passes underneath the shade. So I'm not gonna clip it here on this side because this is on top. This would be underneath so that the binder clip holds it up. So I'm gonna kind of just like start playing with the shape. It's okay if you have like a big gap because that can help you like create some like nice movement in the shape. So we're just gonna start by getting a general shape clipped in, and then we can kind of adjust from there. So now we have our general kind of shape mapped out. So what I'm gonna begin doing now is I'm gonna take my hot glue gun and I'm gonna start adding glue to the top of that monofilament line. So I have the clip here. I'm gonna come around and add glue to the top so it's touching the paper and the line. That will hold it in place so that I can then remove the clip. So I'm gonna first go through, kind of get everything in place, and then I'm gonna come through again and start refining the shape a little bit. So we're just getting those glue dots in place. I'm gonna give the glue a minute to dry before I remove the binder clips, but now you can kind of see like, this isn't that exciting. It's just kind of a loopy shade. So what I'm gonna start doing is start choosing where I wanna create kind of these like fanning out moments. So I can start kind of deciding where I wanna glue pieces together and leave pieces kind of fanned out. So this is an example. So you can see these are open, and by me compressing these, it kind of creates that same fan shape that our shades are doing in the window. So I am going to go through and start kind of gluing the shades together to create that shape. So if you want to start kind of composing these, but you're not totally ready to glue, you don't want to commit, you can always just clip them in place first and then glue. So one thing to think about is because I have like this shape over here, I don't want to recreate that same shape here. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to clip these together and create that kind of like fan shape over here. So again, you can take a clip, and clip it together to see what it looks like first before you commit. And so you can kind of do that as you go down. You can also, once that glue's dry, remove your clips to reuse. So I'm gonna kind of start just mapping out that those fun shapes that we're trying to make. Okay. And you can kind of see that already coming together in a nice way. Come this way. And you can play around with like how much you clip versus not clipping to kind of create different shapes. And again, you can always clip before you commit. So again, we'll come back to this one that I glued, we'll check it. That looks pretty good. If your glue's a little bit messy, you can always go back over it with your hot glue gun. Just take the tip that you know is hot and remelt that glue to kind of smooth that edge so you don't have any like weird strings. It's just like a nice smooth edge, just like that. So now I'm just gonna go through and continue with that gluing, and I'll come back and show you guys when it's done. Okay, so as you can see, we have our shape all dialed in, glued in place. Last thing we're gonna do is just address the top. So you'll notice it's kind of like a little bit floppy and sad up here. So all I'm gonna do is kind of like determine how I want it to sit. Kind of like this. I have a clip. I'm gonna clip it in place where I like it. And then I'm just gonna add, again, a little bit of glue to the monofilament and the paper just to hold it in place. And we'll leave the clip there while it dries, and then once it's dry, you can just unclip and then it's ready to hang.